People who don't ever want to have kids, why? It's expensive and I don't want to pass on my genes in particular. The gene thing in particular hits me hard. I have an incurable autoimmune disease, and there's at least a 20% chance I pass the disease I have on to my children, and not to mention the possibility of an even more severe autoimmune disease like lupus. I don't think I'd ever be able to forgive myself if I passed that on to a child, especially with how much I struggle with my own disease. It's one of the issues that bothers me most about whether I want to have kids or not. I just have no desire. I don't hate kids, I love my nieces and nephews and have a great time being an influential part of their life. However, that means that I also see how difficult and stressful it is to raise kids. I understand that people really love it and it's worth it to them, but that's just not me. I love my niece and nephew too, but after an entire day with them I really need some peace and quiet. If it's your own kids, you don't get that. So I imagine that but 24/7 and I don't understand how people do it. In psych class we learned about a study where they separated monkeys from their mothers at birth. The monkeys grew to be anxious and twitchy. When those monkeys had their own kids, the mothers didn't know how to care for them. I was raised horribly, so I don't know how to raise someone well. My parents had children even though their parents abused them. My grandparents' parents probably also abused them. I'm just cutting off the cycle. You know how people often say I'll do a better job than my parents ever did? Yeah, that doesn't always work out that way. My parents were absolutely horrible to us. My sibling said I'll do a better job. She really thought she would. She didn't. She didn't finish her education, just like our parents didn't. She's completely overwhelmed with taking care of her children, just like our parents were. Her husband is trash, just like our father was. She has untreated mental issues, just like our mother had. Her children are unruly, constantly fight, have zero manners. She didn't do a better job. I did get help for my issues, and I can safely say that I will not be a better parent. The one thing I can do is take in teens as a foster parent, so I can help them with school, going to university and getting the proper help. Because if I can do it, so can they. Teens deserve help. I don't need to put children on this planet if there are plenty for me to help. I wish someone had helped me when I was a teenager. Freedom. My husband and I would probably be pretty good parents and we're in a good spot financially, but we feel complete with each other. We have fun together and want to spend the rest of our lives without the responsibility and stress of kids. Pretty much exactly the same for my wife and I. Life is good, life is simple, let's keep it that way. Because I believe that children deserve parents that will love them, always put them first, spend quality time with them and make sacrifices so that their children can have the best opportunities. But at the same time have the strength to set boundaries and discipline them in a healthy way so that they grow into good human beings. Also because I don't currently have a partner or much financial stability in my life at this stage, and I don't want to be a single parent or bring a child into the world if I'm not in a position to provide for them. And I don't trust myself to be unselfish enough to be everything that I believe a child deserves. I sometimes catch myself thinking that children might be nice, but until I'm sure of myself, financially stable and in a steady relationship, a child is unlikely to be in the picture. Edit. First, I'd like to thank everyone for all of their replies, awards and input. Both those who agreed and who disagreed. It's always nice to get a balanced perspective on things. So please try not to downvote people who disagree with my statement into oblivion. A lot can be learned and taken from opinions that differ from your own. Also, I'd like to clarify that when I said sacrifices, I don't mean drag me to the pyre and make me a martyr. Sacrifices, obviously take care of your own health and well-being first. But unless you are in a very cushy place in life, it is likely that, as a parent, you'll have to make the decision on whether or not to forsake something for your kids. Whether it's something as small as not being able to get those new clothes that you wanted because your child needs some new stuff for school, or something like giving up your dream job because it would mean uprooting your child at a crucial stage in their learning. All of those are sacrifices, and there are people out there who have ended up resenting their kids for less. As someone who wants to become an elementary school teacher, people are often shocked to find out I don't want children. But the reason is simple: they cost a lot of money, they take up a lot of free time and space, and I have terrible genes. I'm actually considering becoming a teacher too, and I also don't want kids. I love science and I like to explain things about ecology or biology, so teaching is like a free captive audience. JK, I had a really shitty science teacher and a really shit school, and I want to offer something better to kids. My parents were kind of neglectful and I got bullied a lot, so I feel like I would be a teacher that could show them empathy they wouldn't normally get. I feel like I'm too poor to have my own, and I worry about not being a good parent and also losing my freedom. But kids that go away at the end of the day might not be so bad. I don't want to give birth and go through all that. Adoption is a long process and a lot of money that I don't have. Kids are expensive. I'm also scared of giving birth. I don't want kids anyway, but just hearing the stories of some women's birth experience freaks me out. Lack of desire to become a parent or have kids. You know how some people want kids so bad, they suffer mentally and emotionally from not having them or knowing they can't have them? How people say they feel hormonal, wanting kids real bad, they can't control it. Their ovaries are exploding? Baby fever? Or any other colloquialism about wanting to have a baby real soon? Never had that. People kept telling me that as I grow older, would reach my 30s, find my soulmate, my friends start having children, etc., I would start to have that feeling. I went through all these milestones and I still don't have that desire for kids. And I don't think it's necessary to have kids if one does not have the desire for it. Same. It feels so weird to be asked why I don't want kids, because the answer is a simple: I just don't want them. No deep dark secrets or anything like that. Just like I didn't want to major in accounting or learn to play the violin. There's nothing wrong with it, I simply have no interest for myself. I'm lazy. I like my free time. I like money, well, the little I have. I like sleep. I've also just never had the instinct in me to want kids. I feel complete without them. Plus it's scary enough worrying about my own future, let alone the future of miniature humans I am responsible for bringing into the world. Rather give it a miss. I want to do what I want, when I want. Yeah, kids are the opposite of that. I was parentified as child to my 4 younger siblings. When I see a child now, I act nice but cannot wait to get away from it. A child crying/screaming immediately puts me in an angry/foul mood for the rest of the day. I had my share of caring for kids, and have next to nothing positive come out of it. I will let you know after my 10-hour nap when I get to the pub. Thank you for listening to another B-Town Reddit Stories episode. Hit the subscribe button and check out our channel for more stories. Let us know your opinion about this topic in the comments.